G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content of my channel. If you missed part 2 of the tool and cutter grind build, there's a link up there now. You can go watch that first and come back and watch this one. Alrighty, so follow me over to the bench and I'll show you what I'm going to get on with in this episode. Over there. Alrighty, so I've got this new ER32 collar chuck here. So now I need to make a housing to mount this up on here. Also in the process trying to incorporate that little spin indexer kind of plate thing that I had earlier on. And if we get through that enough, I also need to make up for sort of watching a couple other videos that guys grinding end mills. I think I need to make up a little ring that fits on here that I can clamp in place to stop this from, so I can now slide this up to a stop so it's it just can't go any further. But anyway, that's what I've got in mind so far. I think I'll do a drawing for this. I've got to sit down and think about it a bit more, and then I'll get in and make up the foam and cast it up. I'll go and get on with that. Alrighty, got to try and compete with the birds here. They're going off like mad. Alrighty, lots of changes of mind while I was drawing that, and man is it hard to draw things when you're wringing wet. I'm just sweating profusely. Alrighty, so this fits up in here. And I have to drill a 6mm, well a 5mm hole, and tap it M6 down through here for the adjustment in and out. And to achieve that from this thing, I've got this piece I cut off the bottom of the Spam can casting, and I'm going to machine it up so that I can bolt it to the bottom of this somehow, or to the end of it, something like that. And then I'll drill a hole through here to take that screw, so that I can adjust this thing in and out like that. It side on just looks like a 75mm square block, but I will make it round, 65mm round. I'd like to cut the centre out before I cast it, but I think I might try and cast this as one solid block, but round like that, and then square on the bottom, because I want to be able to get it in the lathe and bore that. I don't want to try and do it on the mill. Anyway, so I'll get this thing made up and get it all plastered up, and we'll get it ready to hopefully cast it tomorrow morning. Something I forgot to mention, I've decided I'm not going to use this. It's too hard to try and incorporate this into the back of this and still make everything work here. And in reality, you know, let's face it, I'm only ever going to try and grind 2 flute, 3 flute or 4 flute end mills with it. So really what I'll make some sort of ring up where I can pin it to the back through here, because it only needs 2 positions for a 2 flute, 4 positions for a 4 flute, or 3 positions for a 3 flute end mill. So I'll work something out too. I might even make a little casting up so it's easier to clamp it to the collar chuck shaft. Alrighty, so I spent a couple of hours I think making this up now, trying to get it right. To fix a couple of stuff ups up. I was cleaning up this surface here on the belt sander, and the bloody belt broke and tore a great chunk out of the side there, so I had to patch it. I'm a little worried about this bit here. That's the heavier foam. I'm hoping it burns away alright. I think it'll take everything I can cram into my crucible to pour this, and I'm a little worried. It's all overcast this afternoon, or it's just coming up for lunchtime now and it's all overcast, so hoping I can get this plastered up and dried ready for tomorrow, and it's not raining tomorrow because we are getting into wet season. But anyway, I'm just going to leave the glue to dry a bit, go and have some lunch, and then when I come back out I'll put some plaster on it and get it outside to get it dried, hopefully to pour tomorrow. Oh, luckily for me the sun's come back out and this thing's baking up nicely, so we should be right for tomorrow. Alrighty, so the crucible is about as full as I can get it, so it's time to pour this. Alrighty, so it came about halfway up the can, so I'd say we had enough. So I'll give it half an hour to cool down now, and then we'll see how we went. Alrighty, so it's been half an hour, so it's the moment of truth. Have we got a good casting or not? And indeed we do. Beautiful. Alrighty, so you got a bit of, I don't know, just crap. I'll let that cool down some more, and then I'll knock the top off it and we'll get into machining it up. Alrighty, so I've spent quite a while trying to get this right. I gave it a bit of a clean up on the belt sander, and this is about as close as I can get it. It's all a bit rough. So this bit here, I didn't mind sloping that off because I'm going to turn this back down to about there anyway. Because I had this set up at 75mm and that's 90 there now, so it'll be back to sort of at halfway between those two there. Oh god damn, it's hot. There's a puddle of sweat on the floor. It's just dripping off my elbows, it's dripping off me everywhere. Glad when this heat wave goes down. I saw a report this morning that there's a plane and a motorbike spontaneously combusted here sometime in the last week. And there's been a lot of people, mainly old folks, and let's face it, I come to that category, dropping dead from heat exhaustion. So it's bloody hot. But I'm just going to give this a bit of a gentle face off and then put a centre in it so I can put a live centre in there while I face this off. Having a bit of a hippie shake. I think I might jump on the bike and go see if I can find a big hose clamp and see if I can't strap a bit of scrap steel to this side here, try and balance this up a bit. Right, so lucky I didn't need to go far to find what I was looking for. And I've already tried it, it's improved it out of sight. Well, it's going to take quite a while, so I'll bring you back when I've gotten rid of most of this junk off here. A little bit off centre, but it doesn't matter, I don't care, because we'll sort it all out later. This is definitely making a huge difference, this bit. There's still a bit to clean that up. Although that's all got to come off, so I don't know why I'm bothering. This bit here is actually a bit of that really crappy foam, so it's, you know, surface finish is never as good on that stuff. Look what we got here. Oh god, we've still got plenty of heat. You can't hit another 5mm. Well, I've got to say, it's actually lunchtime, so I'm going to have a break because I'm just, like I said, sweating profusely, and it's cooler in the house than it is out here. I actually had a thought yesterday, I might get what we call a whirly bird, you know, the roof ventilators, the whirly birds in Australia, and get one put in here. Might help suck some of the hot air out of this little workshop. Anyway, I'm going to have some lunch and we'll come back and do some more of this after lunch. Alrighty, so I've pretty much got rid of that chamfered off bit there now. And that's, you can see here, this lightweight foam just leaves the shittiest surface finishes. What do we got here? Oh, that's 85, 75, righto. Now by rights I should, you know, probably just get the parting tool out and just part that off, but geez, I don't know if I can get in there far enough with it before I start hitting something. I might just drill it and bore it, and then once it's all bored, just machine away whatever's left. I think I'll finish drilling that when I turn it around. Here it is, oh shit drill. Cheap Chinese rubbish. Alright, I'll get set up at the boring bar and then we'll do some boring. Alrighty, so I've got just under 10mm come out of there. So I won't make it sit through all of that, but we'll start it and bring you back at the end. Holy shit. Oh, there's another good reason for leaving that 10mm on the front. Gives you a bit of cock-up space. 4.6 it is. Alrighty, what I did at the end there was put a 0.5mm undercut up in there. Oh, look at that, I should have made a bloody pass on like another really fine cut, so here we go. That pass I just put up in there was, well, I set it at 0.3, but it was bouncing around between 0.2 and 0.3. So it might have been a bit, sorry, not 0.2, 0.0. It was bouncing around between 0.02 and 0.03. So it might have been about 0.025. Still too tight. Alright, another 0.02. It's amazing how little can make a difference. There you go, look, that was with just another 0.02. Beautiful. Alrighty, something I've been wanting to do is go and find an O-ring to put in this groove that's in here. And then, so I don't know, I haven't got one yet. Might just put a reasonable chamfer on I was next putting it on there. Got to get this bit off here. And to be honest with you, I've had enough of this heat for one day, so I think I'll leave that for tomorrow morning. Alrighty, so what I did was I got out the gate hinge live centre that I made a long time ago just for things like this. Fitted up the 3mm grooving tool, and I've just been plunging in there about 2mm at a time to carve that off. So now I'll change this battery for starters, because I should have done it before I turned it on, and then I'll put a turning tool back in. I'll just turn off the bit that's left and just face that off one more time. Well, yeah, so only taking 0.25mm passes up there when I was getting rid of that bit off the end, because I didn't want to load it up and mess things up at this point. Right, so that's this end finished. I'll get that out of there, turn it all around, set it back up, bring it back when I got it all done. Oh, that's not good. They don't line up. Feed me! No, 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 not this time, you bastard, you hungry gutted little... No, not this time. Alrighty, as much as I hate to admit it, I've stuffed this up. They weren't lined up. And I just, before I took it out, I extended the boring bar out and just ran it up. Took a light cut up the inside. I doubt you can see that. There's a little step down in there, inside there, and it's about, probably about 0.2 or 0.3, something like that. Misaligned, and I don't know that I can clean it up. But what I'm going to do is make an arbor that I can maybe super glue this thing to, and then see if I can't clean this up. If I can't clean it up, I've got this piece of tube here. I'll bore it out so that that will press into there, and then I'll bore the inside of this out, because there's no way I want to remake this thing. Alrighty, so I've made up the arbor and glued it on. I got to say, this is pretty bloody disgraceful. Look at that. That's 0.8 of a millimetre. That's just bloody awful. So I'll Get the boring bar in there. I've already cleaned the outside of this thing up, so I'll machine a hole to take that, and then what size is that? Alright, so I'm only taking out 0.67, which is not a lot. So this is not going to end up very thick, this thing, so it doesn't matter, it just needs to be bloody straight. But I'll press that in and put some Loctite on, press it in, but I might leave it overnight. But anyway, I'll boring bar in there, we'll bore this out. Take that. So I might move this camera. We'll just about going there now, and I haven't got a full cut yet. Alright, I think I'm not going to take another pass out there, even though there's a bit of a gap there. It's not much, but I'll Loctite that in there and let it set. Might have to have the rest of the day off, I think, to make sure that's set properly before I go boring it out in the morning. Alrighty, so while you guys weren't looking, I've machined that out, and believe you me, there's not much of that steel sleeve left in there. It fits really nice, but I won't know if it all lines up until I get out of there and heat it up and get that bloody get that bit out of the back. I forgot to mention earlier, I went down the road chasing some O-rings this morning, but this is the only thing I could come across, and they're way too heavy, and they're almost the same diameter as this, so they're kind of useless, because by the time I bore it out enough to get that in there, there's nothing left for this to sit on. Although I suppose I could run it in a taper, that taper on the back of it. Anyway, so I'll get that out of there and heat that up and try and get out of here and make sure that runs cleanly all the way through, and then we'll move on with machining this up. Alrighty. As I said, there is not much left in there, but there does need to be, I suppose. I was a little worried about how much heat I had to put into this bloody arbor to get it out, because I think Loctite lets go with heat as well. But anyway, we have total success. Boom. Beautiful. A lovely fit in there. So you can just go it out this time. Get out of here. Okay, now that we've had that little tantrum out of the way, it's time to go and get this thing in the mill and do something about machining all this bit of it up. Alrighty, if you're wondering what the hell I was doing there when I got deep cut up through here, when I trammed this in, I didn't tram it off this surface. I actually put the collet chuck in and then trammed it off the piece sticking out the back, so that if this hole was a little bit cockeyed in it, then I wasn't going to end up with a cockeyed bloody spindle. But that surprised the hell out of me, probably as much as it surprised you when you were looking at it going, whoa, what are you doing? While I've got this all set up and trammed up, I think I might cut the dovetail in here. Alrighty, I've got a feeling I've got some fine tuning to do here. You've only watched a couple of minutes of that. It's taken me, God knows, half an hour more to do all that. Still got another 7 odd millimeters to come out of that width there yet. But I won't bore you with all that, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start cutting these dovetails. Alrighty, took me bloody ages to get that machine down to where it had to be. Anyway, I'll get into this dovetail. Alrighty, if I recorded every bit of machining I've done this morning, this video would be about 2 hours long. Alrighty, so there was a lot of little sneaking up on it cuts in there. I've got a piece of brass shim in here and it's running beautifully. That's only one layer of 0.3. That slides in there very nicely. So I'm really happy with that. So it's lunchtime now. I'm going to go have some lunch because I'm sweating profusely again. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now let's get back to the build. Alrighty, what that was all about was machining up this thing to fit in here so that I can set up my lead screw for driving this in and out. There's a bit more machining to do to this yet because at the moment I don't think that's enough travel, so I want to machine a bit off it, but we'll get there. But this is dragging on a bit, this video, so I'm not going to film all of this. It takes too long. I'll just show you what I've done. Alrighty, so that's just about that. If you're wondering why I put such a big hole in here, I'm only using a 6mm bit of all thread in here. I want to make up either a brass bush or maybe even a bit of that Teflon sheet I've got and sit in that hole so that the thread can't chew away at it. Alrighty, so that's that end of that pretty much done. I'll get it out there and show you what I've done. Alrighty, so that's that. Put the hole down through here now, so I'll thread that M6 and make up a knob for here. Got to make up a plate for here yet, and that's pretty much that all done. I've got the little shim in there. To retain that shim, what I did was I left machined a little 0.3mm recess just in the corner there, and then bent it at 90 degrees so it sits in between this and this to stop it from coming out. That fits beautifully in there. I do want to drill through here and put a couple of screws in that. Don't know whether I'll go 2 or 3 yet, but that won't be very big. Might only be M3s, maybe M4s, because that's only 5mm deep in there. But anyway, we're getting there. Lunchtime now, I'm going to have some lunch. Alrighty, just had a massive storm roll through here, and it's still raining a bit. Just for the benefit of my new subscribers, this is my spindle brake setup. It's a hydraulic disc brake off a bicycle. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If I remember, I'll put a link up top so you can go have a look at the build for this thing later on. But I'll move this lathe and we'll show you what I'm going to get up to. Alrighty, so yesterday I machined up this knob for to adjust the tool holder in and out. Now I want to mark it in hundredths because I've used a 6mm lead screw. One full turn will move 1mm. I'll show you what I do. Up here there is a disc marked in hundredths which I got off the internet. I just unlock the brake, move it around to the next 10 mark, lock the brake up, which means the spindle will no longer move, and I've set all this up to the depth I want, and I just wind it in up to a little stop I've created down here, and that's it. And that's unlock the brake, go to the next 10th mark, put another one in. Now this is a pretty long-winded process and I had no intention of recording it all because this video is getting a bit on the long side, so I'll just show you what I've got when I'm done. Alright, it's still raining here, but at least it's not hot this morning. So that's one bloody thing. Alrighty, something I forgot to show you was this is what I do it with. It's just a piece of 5/16 high-speed steel, round to a point. Now, I've been around there, got 100 marks in it, so now I'm going to use some of this automotive black touch-up lacquer and just put a coat of black paint in all those slots and then allow it to dry, and then once it's dry I will sand it all off. Alrighty, so I'll give that some time to dry and then we'll sand it all off and then part the thing off and that'll be done. Alrighty, so it's starting to look like something now. This turned out a little disappointing. It's probably one of the best I've ever made, but I only went in 0.08 of a millimetre with that scribe lines and then just not quite deep enough. But anyway, they're going to have to do because I'm going to try and redo them. Also, while you weren't looking, let me put this back down here. While you weren't looking, I machined this up. Isn't that nice? It's just a bit of scrap binium that I bought a very long time ago and I had no idea what it was, but geez, it machined up nice. Anyway, that's for on here, and I will set the rotary table up and drill, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes in that, and I will, once I've figured out where the holes are, then I'll drill a hole back up into this casting and mill a slot in the top and across here for a little spring-loaded locking pin. So that will be my 6 positions for flutes. This thing works really nice. That just feels so nice, that winding that in and out. But anyway, it's starting to look like something now. If you've been enjoying watching me make this, how about giving it a great big thumbs up and smashing that like button, because it kind of helps me out. Well, this has dragged on a bit this episode, but I think it was probably because of the stuff up in here. So I think that's about all I've got time for this week. So, or one last thing, this bit's sticking out here. I'll put in the lathe, cut that off. I need to make another aluminium plug that'll just go up inside and to rotate this easily. But anyway, so that'll all be for next week if I get that far, because I want to get all these holes drilled and dress this up some more. Weather forecast is not great for the next 7 days, so, and I have a heap more castings to make. I've got another one to make for up here for the spindle for the grinding wheel. Another big one to make for down here as a base for the motor and everything, and then some arms and stuff to come across here. There's a fair bit of casting to go here. Anyway, like I said, it's starting to look like something now, and there could be another 2 or 3 episodes yet, maybe even 4, who knows, because like I said, I'm making this up as I go. So coming back next week, catch me for episode, what will it be, 4 of this tool and cutter grinder build. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.